Good morning and welcome to the latest RuneScape podcast. I'm MattHe, the podcast monkey, and with me today I have...
MattHe. What's up?
What's up?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm on the podcast here today to talk about the new world-eating diet.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. Make yourself super thin.
Yeah. So a lot of people are very hesitant because they think there are a lot of carbs in a world.
Right.
There's also a lot of... greens.
Greens, yes, greens, yes. Right. So you're saying Tuska's on a diet?
Yeah.
It's
also good for bulking as well, probably.
This wasn't how I expected this podcast to start. So, Tuska World event then.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm doing the podcast for the other side after this, and I get them mixed up.
Oh, right, okay. Tuska.
Yes. So,
what's happening?
There's
been things hitting us on Gielinor.
So there's been strange happenings recently.
And strange things in the sky.
Yep. Meteors, giant hungry boars.
Giant hungry boars.
Yeah, those are two slightly weird things.
Okay.
And this giant hungry boar is on it's on a diet for special nutritional needs.
Okay.
That joke is going to keep going back.
Is that just eating worlds now?
Yeah.
Eating worlds is good for you. Okay.
And she spotted that Gielinor's looking, pretty nutritious.
Right.
And we're next on the dinner plate. Unless brave adventurers like ourselves go up there and, just instruct her on maybe just have a plate of chicken and then just be done with that. Don't need to go into the whole world.
Tuska's eaten other worlds before?
Yeah.
Many worlds?
Yeah.
Do we know?
I mean, I don't think she likes to brag.
Right, okay.
Because I don't think she's capable of speech.
Okay.
But yeah, she's she's eaten a number of worlds before.
Okay.
I think the only one that we've named is she's visited the Naragi homeworld. But
right, okay.
She was quite a long time ago, and she's a bit less powerful then.
Okay, but
least.
now she's giant and powerful and floating through space towards us quickly.
Yes.
Okay.
And the other gods can't intervene, so it's down to us.
Down to heroes.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you go and stop her from eating our world as part of her nutritious diet?
There's been a school of magic that no one's really paid attention to until now.
Okay.
And that's the school of astromancy.
Okay.
And that wizard has definitely been in the wizard's tower for years, and no one's really paid him any heed.
Okay.
And now this is his time.
Yep.
Space is in this season.
Right, okay.
We're going there. So astromancy is the key.
Yep.
We're going to get up there. We're going to...
How do we get up there?
We're just going to teleport. We've sent a lodestone up.
Right, okay.
The lodestone network is surprisingly convenient.
Okay. So the astromancer has got a lodestone up there?
Yeah.
Right, okay. And that's how we get up?
Yes. So we're going to just...
Where will I find the lodestone on my lodestone map?
Oh, you will find it by if you zoom out on your lodestone map.
Yeah.
Which is another feature that's always been there and no one's paid attention to.
Right.
And then you'll be have a magical space adventure on your map.
Yeah.
And then you'll zoom in on a Tuska.
Okay. I'm now terrified that we're going to have more lodestones on other backs of other things in space in the future.
That's the one piece of feedback on it has just been, why is Zenaris not on this map? Why can't I lodestone to Zenaris? No!
Surely Zenaris is on the other side of the world.
Yes. Definitely now.
From Tuska.
Yeah.
In that panoramic shot you get.
If you just panned to the other side, you would see it and you'd be able to get there.
Yeah. Clearly.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get up to Tuska by lodestone, but why do we want to go on the back of a giant thing that's going to eat the world? Surely that's very dangerous. Might it not eat us?
It might. The only problem is it's harming something that far away. We come up with some alternative strategies, like a really, really big catapult on the ground, but it was just really hard to get it, out of the atmosphere.
Yeah. To get the angle of descent right.
Yeah. So really, in a way, the logical conclusion is to teleport into space and run around on the back of a giant beast and stab it.
So why don't you suffocate?
There are many uses of astromancy.
Right, okay.
And one of them is creating a lot of
small
air pockets.
I thought you were going to go with the theory that, in fact, Tuska's so big, she has her own atmosphere.
I can't say things that like that anymore because some people replace the word Tuska in the sentence with like your mama, and that's
right.
Yeah. That was a problem with the first Tuska stream when I was explaining Tuska. It's just the chat said the exact same thing back, but
with your mama instead of Tuska. Right. Okay. So we're going to go up and fight Tuska. How do we defeat Tuska?
Representatives of each of the god have had a new spear forged.
Okay. Well, it's 4 factions, is it not? It's not everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three of the gods and the godless. I'm going to keep saying the 4 god factions because it's easier to say.
Yes.
But so people keep going, well, actually, it's not.
3 god factions and the godless.
And this spears can channel the residual anima mundi of some of the worlds that Tuska's visited before, and there are chunks of them in orbit around her.
Yeah.
Our helpful astromancer Wizard Chambers is sending adventurers up to those islands to charge those spears. So that they can...
What do you do to charge the spears?
You do various wondrous activities.
Right.
Like, looking after a plant, you do a little bit of farming. That's pretty wondrous.
Yep, and chopping.
Vines.
Not that I've been doing this just before I came in here.
Doing some...
Burning tentacles.
There's...
Digging graves.
Yeah.
Tormented souls.
Yep.
Lightning.
Climbing.
Channeling.
Lots of climbing. Throwing gate stones.
Throwing gate stones, yeah. Most of them?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Building. Hanging out with lightning.
Building out the lightning things.
Yep, doing lots of things
Trapping.
to and around lightning.
Yeah. In order to get everything charged up.
Yep.
Ready for your weapon.
Yes.
And then what are you going to do with the weapon?
Then you are going to be transported to Tuska's tusk. Scale the side of her face.
Yes.
And then,
which is clearly very dangerous.
Yeah.
Only a hero should try it.
Yeah. Any non-hero would probably fall off.
Yeah,
and that would be
clearly.
Yeah.
If it was me or Mod Dag, we'd fall off.
I did start out the podcast by saying that we were heroic, but if you want to...
Okay.
If you want to throw shade...
Okay, I'd fall off. I am the useless sidekick, so I'd fall off.
I reckon I could do it.
Okay.
And then you climb up her face and you stab her in her weak point.
Right, okay.
Which she has a couple of those from...
Yes.
A lot of battle scars across her.
Yeah, where she got previously hurt. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. She has, a lot of previous tussles with other gods, and they've left her with a few relics. And I'm sure some of those are even probably from before she became a god.
Okay.
And you throw salt in that wound, and by salt I mean a giant spear.
How often can you do this?
You can do it once per hour.
Right.
And
there's a handy countdown clock when you're on her back, isn't there, to tally?
Yes. Yeah, so you can only go in the first 20 minutes every hour, just to make sure to make it so that people just sort of naturally group up a bit.
Yeah. What else can you do while you're waiting?
So while you're waiting...
What else is there? Because I understand there are other things to do on her back.
Yes. During times that you can't go up, you can fight parasites.
Okay.
Chop away at Tuska's quills.
Okay.
And on some of them, you can balance and get nice agility experience.
Okay. And you pick up shards while you're doing it as well.
Yes. And if you bring these back to Wizard Chambers, he will happily reward you with little taste of currency.
Right.
For each shard.
Right. Okay.
But there's also a limit on that, but it's fairly high. You get a lot less currency for getting the shards than you do for actually going and stabbing Tuska.
Yeah.
Just because...
Going to go and attack Tuska is the thing we want you to do.
Yeah, it's kind of more important.
Yeah.
You know, then this, like... I mean, it's nice to, like, get a few souvenirs. But, you know, really, we want to experience the...
We want to defeat Tuska.
Yeah, exactly.
Therefore, that's where the push is. Okay, so if I'm doing all these lovely things to get rid of Tuska, what do I get from it? What goodies do I get? Because, you know, I like my goodies.
Well, I think the single biggest reward, and I can't stress this enough, is that Gielinor isn't destroyed. And I think that's, you know, that's probably worth a little effort. It's probably worth like 1,000 reward points, maybe.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think it's a good early pick from the reward store.
Okay.
The other things you can get after that.
Yeah. Crash diets.
Yeah. It just like helpful instructional books on how to eat right. And
those books are not actually on offer. ModDeck is not saying there are diet books available for your currency.
Look, we don't know what the future holds. It could be in the final week. I mean, I'd be willing to write it.
How to eat worlds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's also a new War Priest armor set that gives you a chance to deal critical hits in combat. There's also, and it looks cool.
I have a picture of it here, and it does look awesome. Spiky.
Oh, yeah. And there's, you know, it's spiky and lightning-y.
Spiky and lightning-y. Very Tuska-y.
Yes. And there's also a new ability.
Right.
That lets you deal 10,000% of your Slayer level as damage to your Slayer target.
Right.
Which was maybe the best tooltip I've ever seen.
It's a good tooltip.
And the spear weapons you use to stab Tuska as overrides.
Right.
And new emote.
And loads of XP, of course.
Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah, and if you want, you can get lamps. But, you know, it's cooler to do 10,000% damage.
Okay. So, can anybody take part in the world event?
Yep. Everyone can take part, including free-to-play.
Because it's saving the world?
Yes. And even hardcore Iron Men can go up there and feel safe, because as heroes, they're safe.
Okay.
They got wizards looking out for them. They're going to protect you.
Okay.
So that you won't lose any of your hardcore lives. And Iron Men can also pick up all of the rewards and not be restricted.
It's been designed with hardcore Iron Men and Iron Men in mind.
Yeah. So whilst the event is like collaborative,
yeah,
it's not like you can get boosted through it without doing any work yourself.
Yeah.
Which is the concern with some other things with Iron Men, which is why some things, like some group bosses, aren't allowing Iron Men in because they could theoretically sit back. So with this, we didn't see any reason not to let you get all of the rewards, get all of the glory, save all the world.
Brilliant. Okay. So you spend 5 minutes on each of the islands as part of the hopping?
Yes.
Yeah,
so and you do.
It's 20 minutes for the D&D, basically.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so there's been loads of feedback, and you've done a forum Q&A last night, because obviously we're recording this on Thursday morning.
Right.
And you've got a Reddit Ask Me Almost Anything, is it, or a Q&A?
I think it's a Ask Me Almost Anything.
This afternoon?
A Reddit thread of some sort this afternoon.
A Reddit thread, okay. So there are loads of questions and feedback flying around.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and then I'll ask you to tell me what other questions you've been asked.
Okay.
So the Astromancer's log.
Yes.
Who wrote it?
He's still being written by Mod John.
Yeah. He sits just behind
me. Do you not turn around?
No, never. He's tea obsessed.
Oh, okay.
He's more tea obsessed than Mod Cuppa. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, I probably wouldn't turn around then. It's just.
No. Yeah, he's been writing the Astromancer's log.
Yeah, and he's been keeping it up to date with the current progress of the world event.
Right.
And when that's finished, that's actually going to go in a lore book in-game.
Brilliant.
Obviously, it won't be finished till the end of the event.
Well, of course not.
I've forgotten the rest of the sentence. That's
okay.
Say.
Well, I have another question anyway.
Okay.
So the question that's being asked most is about the cap.
Yes.
Because, of course, there's a cap on how many points you can earn effectively a day.
We've had quite a few questions about that and quite a few suggestions about what we should do to that. With the next game update, we are going to change how it works a little bit.
Right.
You're still going to have like a cap of 1,000.
Yeah.
And then when you exceed that, you will still continue to get points, but at a much diminished rate for the next few stabs. We haven't decided exactly on the numbers yet. For the next few stabs, and then you will get even further diminished, but we'll be able to, there will be a rate at which you'll still get things, so it will be a low rate.
Yeah.
But it won't drop to 0 like it currently does.
Okay, so diminishing returns, essentially.
Yeah.
So the more you do it, the less you'll get per time.
Yes.
But you'll still be earning something. You'll still be able to earn some points. Brilliant. Okay. Okay, well, that will answer a lot of people's questions about that then.
Yeah.
So what other questions have you had? What other questions you've had loads of times?
We've had a few questions about people asking why we haven't put more Tuska lore in-game with the world event.
Right.
Big reason for that is like it felt like it would be a bit strange. Like Tuska is a destroyer. She doesn't have a lot of followers. That's not a cause that many people get behind. And the followers she do have are the arrow who like do a nice carving every once in a while, but they don't they don't like walk around and evangelize like the followers of previous world events.
Yeah.
What we are going to do is, like, as I said, there's the Astromancer's log that will like add a little bit to the human side of the event. Yeah. And we, at the end of the event, assuming Gielinor's not destroyed, so please don't screw that one up, guys. We promise that we will give you an opportunity to learn a little bit about where she's been before from like some evidence you'll have a chance to examine when you're not,
when you're not fighting her directly
and floating around in space. So yeah, we haven't. You're gonna have to work for it this time, but you'll get some. Okay. I promise. One of the things that keeps coming up is people asking about why Armadillo is white now in the progress bar.
Oh, in the progress bar.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any particular reason?
Ran out of colours.
That's a fair question. What's the energy thing on Tuska's back? I've seen being asked quite a bit.
The energy thing? Oh, right at the top.
Yeah.
Well...
Or is that something we've not answered yet?
In the forum thread, some people were theorising as to what that was.
Okay.
And
would it be advisable for people to go and read those theories?
Yeah, they definitely had some interesting theories.
Okay. But we're not revealing it.
Well, I mean, I read those theories and I was intrigued.
Okay.
We'll see. I don't know what's there.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe something will happen.
Why hasn't Tuska come to Gielinor earlier?
So, the Edict Shield that Guthix created, it's basically hid it from her.
Right.
It wasn't a target of interest because there was nothing there for her. She can't, like, come and destroy this world because it's protected.
Yeah.
And really, like, you sort of think of her as like a shark going after like the scent of blood through the water, and like Guthix was just masking Gielinor's scent essentially. Yeah. And now he's dead and it's gone. She's like, oh, picked up the scent of blood, Going to go after that. That smells tasty.
Yeah.
Going to go eat that seal. Gielinor's a seal, as we all know.
Okay. Okay, I thought it was a penguin.
No, common misconception.
Okay.
Seal's much more delicious to it.
Seal-like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why she hasn't come until now, because really for a very long time, didn't know about it.
Okay, but now the defences are down. She can see it.
Yeah.
Blood in the water.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what other feedback? Obviously, the event's been running all week. What other feedback have you had? And are there any changes we're making? Obviously, we've discussed the cap, but in broader terms, are there anything else we're looking at?
Yeah, we've got a few convenience tweaks coming out with the next game update.
Okay.
Make it. Excuse me. We're going to make it a bit easier for you to make the area you click to go into the event a bit easier. We're going to make a few little tweaks to the grouping system to make it a bit more convenient.
Okay.
And those are the main things.
Okay. So who's going to win? That's the most important question.
Ooh, I don't know. I didn't get to determine that in advance. Is the problem? It's a real problem with the WoW event. It's looking a lot like it's really between the Godless and Tuska.
Yes.
I think the rest of the factions need to.
Zami's
set their
doing
game
all
up.
right. Zami's coming second quite a bit by the looks of it at the moment.
I was surprised actually that Zamorak was doing better than. I think he's doing consistently better than Saradomin at least. Which previous events would make me
I was quite surprised. So when I was quite surprised by how many J mods are fighting for the Godless.
Yeah.
And two, I've been working hard on my tube for Zami, and going, wait a minute, but we're doing much better. How did that happen?
I mean, I have to assume that the heist quest really made him a lot more popular. Dishonor Among Thieves. There we go.
Maybe during the First World event, lots of the Armadale supporters supported Sarah. Instead.
Possibly. So I get the impression that the people who are supporting, say, Zaros, are going with the Godless this time.
It certainly seems to, judging by the reaction in the office. Yes.
Yeah, they seem to be the other category. Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, thanks for coming in today. Is there any last message you'd like to give to the avid world eventers?
Yep. Please. I don't want to have to destroy Gielinor. Don't make me do it. Save us.
Save Gielinor.
Save us from ourselves, please.
All right. Thanks very much. And if you'd like to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.